for me, I just thought, why don't we get people who have never even held a rugby ball before in their lives and give them a challenge and just say, look, in 8 weeks, we can turn you into a rugby team. You're going to play a full-on game against a proper team. What we can say to them is, look, what you've done in just 8 weeks, imagine in other areas of life with that level of application. Imagine what you can do in the next 8 months. And we did that on that first ever course. Every 10 years, the government produces a report called the National Indices of Multiple Deprivation, and always Liverpool and Knowsley feature in the top 3 in terms of physical health, employment, crime rate. It's a tough area. I was working in training and development at the time. A local authority came to me and said, what can you do to help us engage a bunch of young men, as it happened, who would not stay attached to traditional pre-employment courses. And so we had to do something quite radically different. So it occurred to me that they just need to do something really physical. They had to understand, that you've got to be on time, you've got to be disciplined, you've got to try and go the extra mile. And becoming a rugby team is a very powerful means of doing that.
The value system of rugby completely relates to school and the workplace, so like commitment, teamwork. If you get knocked down, you get back up again. So it's about being physically and emotionally tough.
There's not many sports that you step onto the field and then you can knock the living daylights out of someone, and then you can shake hands with them and perhaps go and have a social drink or just sit down and have a chat and even swap jerseys.
I think rugby is the ideal vehicle to promote life skills and to promote a sense of inclusion and belonging. It provides an opportunity where you're allowed to take risks. It gives people a sense of a belonging into a team, but it also gives them a sense of approval. It gives them a sense that they're making a valuable contribution. And rugby's fantastic because you can see the skills development, you can see the confidence growing, and you can see the team slowly emerging into this coherent whole.
So Sky Sports heard that this course was going on in Liverpool, and they came up and said, we'd like to film it, and they did, and that was the start of a long relationship with them. It was just amazing working with Sky Sports during those years. We worked regularly each year with Will Greenwood and Scott Quinnell, international coaches.
Really anyone connected with rugby has probably watched the programme at some time.
Crucially, a lot of our supporters today are our supporters because they first watched the programme on Sky Sports.
So it gave the charity a platform and an awareness that other charities our size at the time could only dream of.
School of Hard Knocks had to become a charity because we wanted to reach more people, and we wanted to reach more people on our terms. We wanted to have as many women on our courses as men, and obviously I wanted to create a schools version of what we do.
So I was first introduced to School of Hard Knocks. I ran an alternative provision. We had about 12 young people that were currently out of mainstream education who were struggling a lot, and we introduced rugby to them. It was only a 12-week course, it was quite short, but the change in the young people was frankly staggering. These young people, I think for the first time, felt really important. They were challenged more than they'd ever been challenged before, but they absolutely loved it. And they wanted to come back every single week. And I was absolutely sold from that moment.
I think everyone involved said we just skimmed the surface, we just found that sort of bit of trust, rapport. So this needs to be a year, and Ken actually felt that needed to be 3 years.
I saw in the 12-week programme a huge impact and a big change in the young people. But then it was lost. Very often they forgot how incredible they felt and how important they felt, and they went back to their daily lives where they weren't important and people didn't really care. And so it was really hard to really make that big long-term change. 3 years to me equals long-term change, and I've seen that over the past 6 years.
The course works because we offer them a consistent adult role model. So every single week of the school year, we are there and we do what we say we're going to do. A lot of these young people don't have that at home and have maybe never had that.
Coming to school for me it's hard, but when I have them every Thursday, I'm always laughing, I'm always smiling.
What School of Hard Knocks is great at, and particularly within the school situation, is we are giving them an element of freedom, but also recognising then that with that freedom comes responsibilities to themselves, but their other teammates as well.
I think I became more caring towards other people.
It's taught me that not everything's about yourself, and to be like a team player and help people when they get down, you help them get back up and stuff.
I think we do something particularly unique and special, and that is the bringing in of these kind of psychological principles and theory and applying it to our coaching and our mentoring and our conversations.
The skills that School of Hard Knocks bring to get us to talk, especially as boys, to get us to talk was amazing.
I'm an ex-primary school teacher, and towards the end of my teaching career I found that we didn't have enough time to actually sit down with the young people and actually get to know them. I think that's a massive part of what we do, is we get to know them.
I like the staff. I like Georgia, I like Molly, I like Neve. I like them all. I have a good connection with all of them.
I think with teachers you're kind of like got a bit of a front, but with them like you just kind of realise they're not teachers, like they're like normal people that you can speak to.
All the staff just look out for you.
We're a small charity, so we have to keep trying to raise money, and that can be a little bit difficult because I see how great the work is that we're doing, and we know that we can fund a certain period ahead of ourselves, but we don't have long-term security in the way that other charities do.
The need is just huge. We're working with over 1,200 children every week. It really changes people's lives for the long haul, and we need people's support for that.